See the Argentine all the way to Madrid. Their captain will get us underway, and it is pinpoint from Gonzalez, draws the early knock-on. The ball ricocheting back into the hands of Jimena Matus. 2 tries for her yesterday. Awkward bounce pass up with well by Candela Delgado. Returning from that broken collarbone, suffered in Dubai, and straight onto the score sheet in their early match. We'll come back for that knock-on. Argentina's put in right on this near touchline.
Scrum. Thumbs up.
So again, Heaney, Saladrid and Martus, forwards for Argentina. Again, Heaney wearing the vice-captain's armband. Gonzalez stepping up to skipper. And they have been omnipresent, the pair of them. Wins over Papua New Guinea, Paraguay and Uganda yesterday. Michaela Polaro saying after that third and final win of the day that they were really pleased with how they went, just taking it moment by moment, match by match.
Bind.
But they did take a look at their defence overnight, the Argentines.
Sit.
Found themselves a little bit porous at points yesterday, so let's see how they do on the other side of the ball in a little bit. For now, though, it's theirs to play with, and this little chip through from the captain needs fielding and is dealt with really well by a Kenyan sweeper. Tackles, though, reining in. That shot from Antonella Redding. Now there's space on the wing. Now Kenya find themselves with ball in hand, and it's Stella Wafula looking to bump off the approaches there. Recycled quickly. Shape to go really coast to coast, but instead it was a hard carry right up the guts of the Jaguaretes defence, and Maritu sends it back the way whence it came. Tackle from Delgado. Now there's a bit of a foot race shaping up on the touchline. Did really well to cling to Wafula, did the defender. Patient play here from the Kenyans, keeping things safe. That, not so safe. That, perfect. Landing right in the bread basket for Otieno, but it squirts from her fingertips, and Argentina have it back. Genhini up and on to Redding, who knows these parts well. Played pro rugby for a season in Warsaw. She concedes the penalty on the deck, and uprise is Sharon Aouma. Captain 15s, captain 7s. Playing for the Lionesses today. And how about the dummy? Maureen Maritu bagged herself a first try on the Challenger Series yesterday with an audacious show and go, and Kenya for the first time, ball in hand into Argentina's half. Wafula with the carry, with the offload, and now with a little bit of space is the captain, Chajira. Desperate tackles right before the sticks. Argentina with a huge steal. And off she sets, their captain. She has been a fulcrum, a talisman all weekend long, and she's still going. But possession is a fickle friend for both of these sides in this early match. Perhaps a little bit of quarter-final nervousness. Plucked from the base, it's the snipe in the streak, and it's Judith Okomu, who's got Maria Taladrid for company, but will not be stopped. And it's the Lionesses who draw blood first in this opening match of our decisive day on the Challenger Series. Well, that scrum aside, that was 3.5 non-stop minutes, and you can see what it's taken out of the players. As that conversion attempt there from Sanaida Nyachio just drifts wide of the uprights. Some of Argentina's most memorable moments yesterday came from little snipes and set moves down the short side off the base of those rocks, but it was Kenya using their own trick against them there. Anti's restart finds Taladrid, just about getting her breath back after that desperate chase back. Oh, they pinched it! Kenya will have a second, my word, how about this? Against the form book, against the script, Stella Wafula charges over for her second of the weekend, and the gap is 10. Las Jaguaretes reeling. Well, they warned us this was coming, the Lionesses. So disappointed after trailing home 8th in Montevideo. They took a long, hard look at themselves. They've been in a residential training camp. They brought back in Chris Brown, the strength and conditioning coach. They have really looked to plug some gaps and fix those frailties. They promised us we would see a big difference. Now's the time to prove it, and proving it they are. A fine conversion too. 12 plays nil. Rising for the restart was Tala Drid, but she knocked it onwards, so it's Kenya's put in. They're visibly riled, Las Jaguares says. But they didn't have it all their own way yesterday against Uganda. They were forced to really dig deep and problem solve on the fly in that one, so still very much in this. They do want to strike next, though.
Set.
Nyachio in and out, so swift, so clean, and now the scampering feet on her shoulder is Judith Okomu, searching for a second, but she's well wrapped up by a pair of blue and white jerseys. 3 options to the left, but they might not need one of them, because look at the footwork in the fend and the meaty muscularity of Shajira. Again they come, the bit really between the teeth of Kenya today. It's a looping, arcing pass and a slam dunk on the end of it. Phoebe Otieno will score Kenya's 3rd. And they are on it today, all right. When we were crunching the numbers, when we had our calculators out earlier, all the chat was about how a win for Argentina would book their spot in Madrid. Kenya weren't bothered with those permutations. They've just set themselves 14 minutes of knockout rugby against the team that they've beaten once already this year, and it's all going pretty much according to plan. Martis's restart. She clatters into a waiting Wafula, and Kenya have it back. Surely not another one. Look at them go. Look at Otieno streaking down that channel. Swiftly to it is the skipper. Needed to be tidied up, that, and actually that's worked really well for Kenya, because Argentina are in disarray and there's an overlap out on the wing. Sharon Aouma puts her foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, and the Lionesses roaring to the front. That's 4 tries in the space of 3.5 minutes, and Argentina, a side who've only been beaten twice all season, find themselves with a mountain to climb. Nyachio's unable to add the extras, so it's just a 5-pointer, but 22 unanswered points. And after playing the first half of this passage deep in their own half, defending valiantly, Kenya just haven't allowed Las Jaguares a sniff of the ball. Well, Dennis Mwanja was uncompromising with his assessment of their performance in Uruguay, but he will be delighted now. The man they call the Iron Man. Pleased this punch, because it's his side who've hit the front and lead Argentina by 22 points to 0.
De ponerlo arriba, tiene que ir el apoyo. Y en defensa, el punto de contacto y el lado ciego, ¿sí? El lado ciego, giremos, no combatamos de más, ¿sí? Si no está ahí la oportunidad, vamos rápido afuera, ¿sí? Y si hay una defensora sube, tiene que subir. En el entretiempo, y vamos con un partido de 0 en el segundo tiempo. ¿Vamos? Entra María, entra Mica por María, entra Sur por Jime y entra Tali por Cande. Vas de centro, Anto. Vamos, vale.
Kenya.
Well, we promised you the battle of the big cats in this one, but Argentina have found themselves relatively toothless so far, and it's Kenya who've been all claw and fang and bite. They lead by 22 points to nil, having simply suffocated the women in blue and white for the final few minutes of that opening half. It's Kenya who will get us back underway through Nyachio. No changes from either side. Argentina got to dig themselves out of quite the hole here. Need to finish fifth or better to guarantee their spot in Madrid. A win for Kenya here. Season take a big step towards that promotion relegation playoff. I think Argentina might be in even greater trouble here because there wasn't a legal attempt at a tackle there from Michaela Palero, who'd flown up from the defensive line and just knocks that one on. So Argentina down to 6. Anguish writ large on the face of the Argentine. Kenya's pushing. And acres of Polish grass into which you suspect Shauna Uma will be looking to have a gallop. It's out, away, and crisply. Little decoy line sucks in the Argentinian defence, but the pass just doesn't stick. Bit of get out of jail free card here for Las Jaguaretes. Brigido Camoro has it now. She'll throw in here. Well, she'll throw in here, but she'll only find an awaiting lioness who's all too happy to pounce. Wafula now out and on to Otieno. Into the Argentine 22, they've turned it over. Fabulous rip and steal there from Azul Medina. She takes it quickly, they've got to get a move on here, Argentina, and getting a right move on is Maria Taladrid with all the footballing skills. It was Antonella Redding in the end, unable to regather. A massive territorial game for Las Jaguaretes. Still playing without Michaela Palero. Well, Argentina's head coach, Nahuel Garcia, said ahead of this weekend that he didn't want them bogged down in numbers and permutations and different scenarios. He just wanted them to play their best rugby, and the results would take care of themselves. But they've simply not been allowed to play. Kenya have been all over them. 22 points in quick succession, and now they're putting out the scrum.
Trot, down to everyone. Fine.
They've options to either flank, whilst Argentina's still down to 6. Stretched awfully thin defensively. There's a lot of turf to cover as a duo. Luckily, it's outstanding from Maria Brigido Camoro, just wrapping up the Kenyan scrum half, stymieing that attack before it could even get started. And Judith Akumu finds herself with a whole pack of Jaguars for company. Now, though, Kenya, with eyes alight, sensing an opportunity, sensing a 5th score against a depleted Argentine side whose morning is not going as planned. Shots, though, coming in left, right, and centre. Look at the work rate. Kenya could just get that wide. They surely would have been in for a score.